My girlfriend tossed her phone onto the couch and crossed her arms. Eyes narrowed at me across the living room. If you're so unhappy here, then just go. Chase that stupid promotion in Seattle. I bet you'll come crawling back in a couple months once you realize how empty it all feels without me. I met her gaze without flinching. Start the clock. She laughed, sharp and disbelieving, as if I'd just told the world's worst joke. But I was already turning away, heading to the bedroom to pull my overnight bag from the closet. We'd been together 3 years, living in this cramped one-bedroom in Denver that I'd been paying for almost single-handedly since she moved in. Her name wasn't on the lease, her contributions were sporadic when I can payments toward utilities, and somehow she still framed herself as the one carrying us. I'd let it slide for too long, telling myself it was temporary, that things would balance out once her freelance graphic design work picked up. They never did. The tension had been building for months, little cuts disguised as jokes. She'd roll her eyes when I talked about the long hours I was putting in as a civil engineer on infrastructure projects. Nobody cares about drainage systems, babe, she'd say, patting my hand like I was a child explaining his finger painting. At gatherings with her artsy friends, musicians, photographers, gallery assistants, she'd introduce me as the guy who makes sure bridges don't fall down, then laugh like it was the punchline. I tried to brush it off. I wasn't insecure about my career. I liked the work, liked knowing the overpasses I designed kept people safe. But the constant subtle belittling wore grooves into me until I barely recognized them as wounds. Then the promotion email arrived. Senior project engineer for a major firm in Seattle. Base salary jumping from $92,000 to $240,000. Full relocation package, signing bonus. It was the kind of opportunity engineers wait years for. I printed the offer letter and slid it across the kitchen table that evening while she scrolled Instagram. She glanced at it, snorted. Seattle? It rains every day. You hate rain. It's a huge step up. Lead role on multibillion-dollar transit projects. She set her phone down, expression shifting to something almost pitying. You're really considering dragging us across the country for money? My whole network is here. My clients, my friends, everything we've built. We can build something new, I said quietly. And the cost of living adjustment alone. Money isn't everything. She waved a hand. You already make enough. We're comfortable. Don't turn into one of those corporate sellouts who works 80 hours a week and never sees daylight. I didn't argue further that night. I figured she'd come around once the reality settled. She didn't. Instead, the digs intensified. At a rooftop party her friend Mia threw, the conversation turned to career wins. She bragged about landing a rebranding contract for a local brewery. $18,000 total, her biggest yet. Everyone cheered. When someone asked what I was working on, she jumped in. He's stressing over some highway expansion. Super glamorous. The group chuckled politely. I forced a smile. Later, when we were alone on the balcony, I told her it bothered me. She shrugged. I was just keeping it light. Your job is kind of dry to non-engineers. I was helping you. By making me sound boring? By sparing everyone a 20-minute lecture on load-bearing capacities. She kissed my cheek like that settled it. I swallowed the frustration again. The breaking point came during a small dinner she insisted on hosting for her closest friends. Mia, Lauren, and Sasha. I spent the afternoon shopping, prepping, and cooking grilled flank steak, garlic roasted potatoes, a complicated pear tart I'd never attempted before. She spent it doing her makeup and picking an outfit. When they arrived, the compliments went to her for putting together such a lovely evening. I brought out plates, refilled wine, cleared courses. Conversation flowed around gallery openings, music festivals, freelance horror stories. I listened, occasionally tried to contribute. Then Lauren turned to me with a bright, slightly tipsy smile. So, what's new with you? Still saving the world one culvert at a time. The table tittered. My girlfriend, Cassidy, laughed loudest. Pretty much, though he's been obsessing over some offer in Seattle lately. Mia's eyebrows shot up. Seattle? As in moving. It's a senior position, I said, setting down the tart. Significant increase in responsibility and compensation. Cassidy waved a dismissive hand. He's fantasizing, like he'd actually leave Denver. His whole routine is here: gym, work, home. He'd be miserable without the mountains. Sasha leaned forward. Wait, how big an increase are we talking? I hesitated. Cassidy jumped in again. Enough to make him think he's suddenly hot stuff. But let's be honest, I'm the one bringing in the creative energy around here. My last contract paid more than he makes in 2 months. The room stilled. I felt heat crawl up my neck. You don't pay rent, I said quietly, or utilities, or car insurance, or groceries most months. Cassidy's smile froze. The others suddenly found their wine glasses fascinating. Seriously? She hissed. You're bringing up money right now? In front of my friends. I'm correcting a misrepresentation. You're embarrassing yourself. She turned to the table, voice rising. He's been sulking about this Seattle thing for weeks like it's life or death. Newsflash, he won't go. He's too risk-averse. Too comfortable playing it safe while I actually hustle in a competitive field. Mia shifted uncomfortably. Maybe we should… No, Cassidy cut her off. Let's clear the air. If he's so desperate to prove something, let him pack up and move. He'll be back in 6 weeks, lonely and bored, begging to come home. He needs me to keep life interesting. I set my fork down carefully. My pulse hammered, but my voice stayed level. You really believe that? I know you, she said, smirking. Better than you know yourself. I pushed my chair back and stood. Then start the clock. She blinked. What? You said a couple months. Start counting today. I walked to the bedroom, grabbed my go bag I kept for work travel, added my laptop and charger. She followed, laughter turning nervous. You're not seriously leaving over this. I'm leaving because I'm done being your punchline. My friends are still out there. You're making a scene. They just watched you make one. Enjoy dessert. I walked past the dining table, 3 wide-eyed women pretending to study their phones, and out the door. The click of the lock behind me sounded final that I checked into an extended stay hotel near the office, sat on the stiff comforter, and accepted the Seattle offer before I could second-guess myself. HR responded within minutes. Start date flexible, full relocation support, welcome aboard. The next morning I returned while she was at a yoga class. Packed clothes, books, tools, documents, everything essential. Left a note on the counter. Taking the Seattle position. Moving in 3 weeks. Lease is in my name only. I'll cover next month's rent so you have time to find something else. After that, the apartment reverts to me or gets sublet. Take care. I dropped my key beside it and left. Her calls started immediately. I let them go to voicemail. Texts ranged from furious, "This is insane," to conciliatory, "Let's talk when you calm down." I replied once, "Decision made. Please respect it." She showed up at my office twice. Security escorted her out the second time after I told them I didn't wish to see her. Colleagues noticed I seemed lighter. My manager took me aside. "Heard you're heading to Seattle. Congrats, that firm's top tier. We hate to lose you, but proud of you." The going away happy hour they threw felt genuine. People swapped stories about projects we'd crushed together, told me I'd be missed. I realized how much I'd downplayed my own value to avoid rocking the boat at home. Movers handled the heavy lifting. The company flew me out for apartment hunting. I signed for a sleek one-bedroom in Capitol Hill with Puget Sound views. Walking distance to light rail, coffee shops, bookstores. Quiet, but alive. Cassidy tried one last barrage the day before my flight. Emails, messages from unknown numbers, even a tearful voicemail from her sister asking me to give her a chance to grow. I didn't respond. Seattle greeted me with drizzle and possibility. First day on the job, my new director shook my hand firmly. Your portfolio impressed the whole committee. Excited to see what you do with the Sound Transit extension. The work was challenging in the best way, big budgets, real impact, sharp colleagues who spoke my language. My first paycheck cleared, over $9,000 after taxes. Every 2 weeks, I upgraded my wardrobe, bought proper rain gear, furnished the apartment with pieces I actually liked. I joined a weekend hiking group, started playing ultimate frisbee again, attended engineering meetups where people argued passionately about seismic retrofits and sustainable materials. For the first time in years, conversations didn't require me to translate or apologize for my interests. Word filtered back through old Denver contacts. Cassidy had moved into a tiny studio she could barely afford. Some of her freelance clients dropped her after missed deadlines. The dinner party story had circulated. A couple friends distanced themselves, calling her behavior mean girl energy. Then, 6 weeks after I'd left, my phone rang with a Seattle area code I didn't recognize. I almost ignored it. Hello, it's me. Her voice smaller than I remembered. I'm in Seattle. I took the train up. Can we talk? My stomach tightened. How did you get my new number? Ryan still had it from the group chat. Please, I'm at a coffee shop near your building. I just want 5 minutes. I went downstairs. She sat at a corner table, hair pulled back, no makeup, clutching a paper cup like a lifeline. You look good, she said softly. Happy. What are you doing here, Cassidy? I needed to say I'm sorry in person. That night was awful. I was scared of losing you and turned it into attacking you. I didn't mean any of it. You meant enough of it to say it out loud. She winced. I was insecure. My career felt stagnant and your offer highlighted it. I took it out on you. I've been in therapy. I see how selfish I was, how I diminished you to feel better about myself. I stayed standing. And now everything's harder without you. The apartment, bills, even just motivation. I miss you. I could look for design work here. We could try again properly this time. I contribute fairly. I'd support your success. I studied her face. The tears were real, but so was the timing. You told me I'd come crawling back in a couple months when I realized how empty it was without you. She flushed. I was wrong. It's been 6 weeks. And here you are. Her eyes widened. That's not. It's exactly that. You're struggling with the consequences of how you treated me, and you want the easy fix. Me taking you back so things feel comfortable again. That's not fair. I genuinely regret. Maybe you do, but I'm not the solution to your regret. She reached for my hand. I stepped back. I've built something good here. Real friends, work that excites me, a life that's mine. You're not part of it. You'll get lonely eventually, she whispered. I'm not lonely now. I turned toward the door. Safe trip home. As the elevator rose, I felt the last thread snap. Clean, painless. 3 months later, a LinkedIn message appeared. Congratulations on the rapid onboarding contributions. Heard you're already leading the I-5 corridor study. I was wrong about everything. Be well. I read it once, closed the app, and headed out to meet the hiking group for a sunset trek up Rattlesnake Ledge. The rain had paused. The city sparkled below. I breathed in the cool, pine-scented air and didn't look back.